Hi everyone, welcome to April 2025. My name is Natalie, and I'm an energy intuitive that guides and assists you to understand the psychological and emotional worlds, which can be impacting how you move in the physical world, or it could be impacting how you move through the physical world. And so if you are new to me, I encourage you to go over my playlist of 2024 and go to which video calls to you, because just like I've explained throughout the other videos that I've had, that energy is like a baton and we pass it down. All of those videos are going to be about time. They're not necessarily time sensitive because I am seeing things very far in advance. And so wherever the energy is speaking to you is the video you want to watch. If this video finds you in April of 2025, consider it a message from the heart. And although I do channel and receive information, I am also wanting to speak from a place of heart-centeredness, because that's what this channel that I work with is all about, is speaking from the heart. And so it's going to be interesting to see how we move through this new reset. And that's what I'm speaking to about or regarding the month of April. So stay with me and let's get into it. Hey everyone. So let's look at April 2025, when such a major shift in our collective consciousness, in our collective, I want to say DNA, in our understanding of the stars, when Neptune moves into Aries. And I'm not going to get into the intricacies of all of that because my area of expertise is in the Sacred Heart and is in guiding people to their highest path forward. It is looking beyond this stuff, using this information as tools to guide our consciousness. And when I feel into April, when I feel into the energies of Neptune moving into Aries, there's a part of me that gets emotional. There's a part of me that screams inside and says, here we are, finally free. And it's interesting to feel that, because when I watch other astrologers, when I watch stuff that's happening in the news, when we think about historical things that have occurred when Neptune was last in Aries, it can come across scary. Even when I'm gathering evidence of how people are moving, thinking, speaking, all of that, what I constantly come across is the phrasing, if we're not aware of our history, history will repeat itself. And I don't know about you, I'm a big believer in patterns and cycles. And that's what, if anything, that I've learned from astrology is the evidence of patterns and cycles that have been going on since before we were born and before we were alive. And so knowing that such a spiritual, heart-centered spirit. And maybe I'm speaking to this because I'm mostly fire in my chart. For those of you that don't know me on a personal level, I'm ruled mostly by fire. And so the fact that the most spiritual planet is moving into fire sets my soul free. Now, it would be interesting to see for everyone else to know where Aries falls in your personality, where that drive, initiation, hunger, assertion, forward momentum, where you're going to be set free. Because we all are going to be experiencing it. Whether you're an earth sign, fire sign, water, or air, whichever you're mostly ruled by, we are going to all be experiencing this shift, whether we want to be conscious of it or not. And the thing is, it's beginning in Aries, which is where everything begins. And so when I feel intuitively in the visions that I receive when I'm looking into Aries, is a blank slate, is almost when somebody is moving into a house and it's empty. And although they're so excited to begin a new chapter, it can feel overwhelming. And when they are getting ready to create their home, it can be exhilarating. It can be exciting. It could be a sense of freedom. And also at the same time, the complexities of that emotion could also bring about sadness. It could bring about grief because you've left one chapter and you're starting a new. And when I spoke about create, it was about this time that we were all going to be collectively going through a new level of what that means. So I ask you, what type of world will you be a part of? Will you be a part of a world that is heart-centered, that is putting children or the child within at the forefront of how we move in the world, what we protect in the world, how we take care of the world? I am of the great understanding that we all carry the child within us, and we also have children around us. And that mindset is what brings us to abundance, that brings us to what I was taught was one of the keys to heaven. And heaven not being a location, heaven not being anything religious, but of paradise in the mind. And so when I look at April, we're beginning anew. How can we get creative and align with the values, align with what we want to be a part of in this world, in whichever world we decide to be a part of? Because we're all creating something. We all are a part of something. Yes, this is a physical world that you are witnessing this video. We all are a part of a physical world. But what's the world that we carry inside, and what are we creating from? And what do we want to be a part of? We can repeat history. We absolutely can if we are not conscious and aware of the place we're creating from. You know, the people within my DNA that I represent come from immigration and indigenous ways of living from different parts of the world and colonization. And I'm sure many of you who are watching this can look at their ancestral DNA, look at what they're representing within themselves, and see what psychology is in their DNA. Which part of you is operating from a place of scarcity and lack? Which family lineage? Do you want to create a different psychology from that place? Because as Hermetics teaches, everything begins in the mind. The law of mentalism. And so we have an incredible opportunity to live in alignment with our values, to live in alignment with our ethics and our morals. But are you aware of what those are? And the actions that you're taking, do you do enough self-reflection, enough critical thinking about how you are thinking, acting, and behaving, and if they're in alignment with what you're preaching? And I know I've said this many times, and it's going to continue forward to ensure that you keep checking in with yourself. Do you want to live in a heart-centered world? And it's your world, because you're the one that brings it forward. You're the one that brings it into incarnation. You are the embodiment of what your mind is creating, both logic and emotion, both assertion and forward momentum, and creativity. You are the embodiment of that. And so if you are unaware of how you are operating, then you are going to be in a position and in a situation where you don't know why you found yourself in these environments, in these conversations, in this situation. And yes, we can only do the best we can with the level of awareness that we have, the knowledge that we have stored in our minds. But if you can step back and be the observer and witness yourself and see how you are creating from certain levels of your ideas that are coming to you, of your emotions that are coming to you, and how you're moving forward. Well, that's ultimate freedom, because you are starting to master yourself. In Aries, and in this new beginning, we have an opportunity to align with our spiritual selves. And for many of you that I know, there's a big movement for spirituality, to fill the empty vessels that are within us, because we've been so drained by materialism and consumerism. This is your opportunity to make a change. And we're seeing it with the boycotting. We're seeing it with people finally recognizing what could be draining them. At least that's what I'm witnessing when I'm looking over, the social media platforms. I'm watching people and how they're moving, collecting data, collecting evidence. And I'm like, wow, this is really, truly fascinating to see people are making such big changes within themselves. empowering themselves and seeing that as they pull resources and bringing it in to show themselves what is of more value, that they're speaking in a way that is more empowering. At least that's what I'm witnessing. But the visions that I see for April is a blank canvas. The interesting thing is that it's not necessarily a blank canvas that is a white canvas. It is in a place where creation begins. And sometimes it can be created in darkness, just like it did in the Bible, when now there's light and we begin to create. And I'm not going to get biblical on here. I'm not going to get religious on here. I don't even know if I can speak about any of those ways of being other than I want to encourage you to really look at how are you incarnating? What are you incarnating? What are you bringing here? And is it heart-centered? Does that matter to you? It's a very still month because most will be, at least some who are watching this, are going to be wondering, where does it begin in me? You are welcome to head to my website, sacredpathtransitions.com, and we can do a one-on-one and begin a journey of self-knowledge and self-knowing to know thyself. Or you can just keep watching this channel because there's some things in the works that are going to be assisting on a collective level versus my one-on-one coachings. But what I want to leave you with is an understanding and a knowing that you are the force here. If you embody it, you are bringing the combination of your thoughts and emotions into reality through your behaviors. And so I leave you with a place of reflection. How do you want to begin? I'll leave that all with you. I'll see you in another month. And you are welcome to head to my website to sign up for my newsletter because some new things are coming. They're on their way, I should say. So take care, everybody. My love to you.